Alright, that should be better. That should give us a notification of being live sooner rather than later. There we go. Alright, so the stream notification is out. Wait and see what is going on there. Alright. Stream link. Yep. That is fine. Also just going through the different driver of the day so far. Put up tier 2 and tier 5 ones. Post-com, let them go for a day and see what's going on there. But yeah, just give about 5-ish minutes to see who is and isn't going to join the stream, and then we can get going. I'm going to do tier 5 now. I'm going to do tier 2 following this, but it'll be on a different stream because the different tiers and deserve the different streams. So everything will work like that. Hello, Otto. Are you looking forward to our race later on? Sardinia. Oh, this is comms for Spa. It's a bit late. I know that much. You got a... well, it's been an entire week. I shouldn't have done this on the Monday following, but... oh well. It's what it is. Probably get the next one done on... probably get tonight's races done tomorrow, actually. It's only... sprint. Set your front right tyre, yeah. I know that pain. I know that pain. BMW is definitely worse than its tyres post-update. I'll give them that. But it is a bit more stable. I'm just trying to figure out what really is going to be a good way to drive it later on. But yeah. Alright. Now that people are starting to get into the stream, let's go over the grid. And then after the grid, we can get going on the sprint. Everyone, first off, everyone hear me all right? I'm assuming so by the fact that Otto was answering earlier, but mic quality is not clipping yet, right? It will be, but it's not clipping yet. Because then we'll be good to go as soon as that is figuring that out. Sounds good. That is good to hear. So, all right, let's go over the grid then. No clipping yet. All right, so Kimi is on the pole here at Spa. It doesn't take... that's not too surprising given what he was doing in practice last Monday. Last Monday was one hell of a time for practice, I'll say that much. So Moose, his title rival, second, started on the front row. I believe that's the same front row as week 1. Monty third, Zelda fourth. Nice little second row, that one Supra, and I believe that's a GTR as well. It sits in fourth right now. Then you got Matt in fifth, Jin in sixth, which is substantially better than his first week qualifying. Stuart in the 97 Supra is in seventh. I believe that's BD. 8th, Font 9th, Reaper 10th, Fracas 11th. And Fracas needs to pick this up sooner rather than later. D-Dubs in 12th, Animal in 13th, Berserk in 14th, Orak in 15th, which is weird after such an amazing start week 1, where he won the feature race, starts 15th in this one. And we got SD in the other GTR that starts in 16th. And yeah, right, that's your grid. I'm just going to double check Tier 4's full-time driver very quickly, because that just tagged me before we get going. No, it looks like everything's fine there. I'll sort out post Tier 5 comms and in between where set up Tier 2 comms. But for now, let's get going. You hate this track, alright? Well, you're not alone there. I can definitely join you in that expression. Right, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go down towards turn 1, and Kimmy's gone off to a flyer. Monty not so much. Matt also up into third immediately off the start. Has done pretty good for himself off turn 1, and now we go through turn 1. Oh no, that doesn't look good. There's a few spins there. We're gonna rewind this. And figure out what's going on in the middle here. Right, I see what's going on into turn 1. It looks like we've got a couple. Oh, that did not look. Oh, that's all over the place. Fracas, Animal. I think that's Stuart. Oryx still there. I think Oryx might have got a bit affected as well. There's also a M6, I think, took a spin as well. That was awful. That was awful down the inside. Maybe someone just misjudged the wet start. I don't know. But we are on intermediate tyres level anyway. You see the bar in the bottom left of your corner, so over one third. So we are in fact into that period of time. We've got a little bit of a battle happening at the front. Now you've got Kimmy followed by Moose, and then Matt and Monty beside each other. And Matt's got the inside line here. Matt's going to have this with the Supra. This is going to be pretty good if he can hold it. Monty's on the AstroTurf. You never want to be on the AstroTurf on this track. It is an absolute nightmare. That looks like a bunch of cars coming down the straight here. Down the hill, the SD, I think that's Jin and D-Dub. Jin all the way down to 12th. Jin is not having a good start to this season. As we get to, Jin also sliding his way through there. Reaper up into 9th, SD in 10th. We're going to go back towards the front. Monty's got 1.5 seconds as we see Font is now in front of him. And a little bit deep there from Font, and a little bit deep from Matt as well. Oh, that is not good news. That is Zelda. Round, we'll take a quick second look at that. So Zelda coming round to Font, and Matt goes deep. Matt's gone on to the AstroTurf. Stay with Font. Oh, Zelda's just unfortunate. Unfortunate to be on the inside of both of those two, getting it very wrong. Fracas in 14th right now as well. Jin, you don't want to be doing that. Onto the AstroTurf. You don't want to be on the AstroTurf. Berserk's gone wide. I think Kesty may have had a little bit of a moment there as well. As we're still watching everyone go through it. It's still raining and oh! Reaper! Oh, Reaper's off the track, straight into the side of I think that was D-Dubs. Oh, that is not good. You do not want to be touching the AstroTurf. Oh, Matt's all over the place as well! Oh, Matt's hit SD. As these guys are just all over the place at the first sector, well, in the first lap of this one. SD somehow survived that. It's an absolute just complete chaos to start this race. It is in the wet. We are on intermediate tyres. Stewart's now gone deep. I think he's going to get a penalty for that. Everyone is all over the place. Intermediate tyres here for SD, who should start to make his way through the grid a little bit. There's also someone that's ghosted up in front of us. That's Berserk. Berserk is ghosted up in front of us. It also looks like Stewart's had a bit of a nightmare. There goes Animal past Stewart as we go down towards turn 1, and we're still not done with craziness left, right and centre by the looks of things. Jin on the inside, he is pushing D-Dubs through the corner. Also Animal goes deep, and oh, that's someone round. That is someone round, and that is Berserk in the F-Type, who is round on the exit of turn 1. When you're on the softs and the intermediate tyre weather, it's yeah, you're going to have to get it right. You're going to have to drive almost a perfect race, otherwise you're going to be in huge trouble. The only one right now on the right tyre is SD, but I doubt it will stay that way for long. It doesn't look like it's raining much more, but we are halfway up the bar now. Here comes 3 wide into the end of the Kemmel straight, and D-Dubs just got sandwiched and swallowed up by Jin and Animal, and that was pretty good in terms of the move there in the middle of the pack. We're going to just start heading further up the grid a little bit here, see what is happening. The weather is starting to cool down a little bit here. We're now heading towards the about the third of the bar. Monty's still sliding from left to right. So it's Kimmy from Moose. As we see here, Kimmy's got quite the gap, followed by Moose, followed by Font, followed by It's BD. And then we've got Monty SD, who's on the intermediate tyres, but will start to fall off extremely soon when those tyres start to fall off. Then you got Matt in 7th, Jin in 8th, Animal in 9th, D-Dubs in 10th, who's got 1.5 seconds. He'll drop down a couple of places here in, well, in about a sector's time when the penalty line comes up. We're going to go a little bit further in front. Font and Jin going side by side. It looked like Font, who had a great start and awful mid-race by the looks of things, has been rolling through and managed to get to hold off on Jin there and stayed in 7th for now. Let's see what's going up further up the grid. SD is still managing to make his way forward, but he's too little too late on those intermediate tyres, that's for sure. And you've got Kimmy followed by Moose, and those two still quite a decent way away, and nothing really happening there. I think SD's got a little bit too wide though, and yep, and both of them have. SD will get a 1.5 though. He's off the track entirely. Well, he should get a 1.5, and let's see if the game actually gives it him. Yeah, it does give him a 1.5 as expected. Matt somehow survived the penalty though. Font, Animal, Jin all going through the corner. Fracas is starting to make his way through as well. And then we've got, I think that's Orak in the distance. It is Orak in the distance, and D-Dub's there as well, dropped back after his penalty. Down towards turn 1, Jin and Animal still going at it. Jin moves under braking there. Just about closed the door, and Fracas, I don't know if that was a legal move at all, but Fracas isn't too close, so no harm, no foul, I guess. We're continuing to watch as they head through up to Eau Rouge and up through Radion now. On lap 3, it'll be a lap 6 or 7, it'll be about 6 or 7 laps in terms of a race here. And there goes Jin, look at that, flying down the straight against Animal, made that look easy. And it looks like Animal might fight back here on the inside. Nope, he backs out of it, rather wisely, may I add. Orak defending against D-Dubs a little bit further behind, and I think someone has a penalty. Yep, Zelda has a penalty in the background there. Doesn't look like much is happening in terms of an overtake in the middle of this race. Intermediate tyres are they're going to start falling off. SD is just in the wrong place on the wrong tyres and has a 1.5 second penalty as well, so he's going to drop quite significantly in these next 3 laps. He needed this rain to persist a little bit longer. It doesn't look like Font might be close enough, as we got BD versus Monty in front of us. And Monty looks to have saved it on the inside a little bit there. Oh, he doesn't, oh, he's sliding all over the place now. It doesn't look like he has complete control of that Supra. As BD is now looking to the outside, maybe for a little bit of a switchback, getting a little bit squirrely on the exit himself. Now has an inside line, but won't get past that Supra. That Supra's got a bit more speed than that Merc. And so does that Supra 97 that is flying in the background. Here comes Matt on BD. BD couldn't get his move done on Monty in the normal day Supra. Will Matt get his move done in the old day Supra? No, he will not. BD does well enough to hold that off. Just about in the end. Surviving for another lap at least, and then Font's in 6th. He's dropped down to 8th after his penalty, and we've got Jin not that far behind in the background here. Maybe Jin might have a good go at Font here. The Mazda versus the BMW. Here comes Jin on the inside. You don't want to be going on the wet patch. Oh, you don't want to be going on the AstroTurf at all. Font has got off the track, and that will allow Jin to just stroll on through. Font making a critical error there. Somehow managed to hold his car in check though. As we're still in the middle of the pack here, BD versus Matt. Those two will go out again. Kimmy is very much clear of Moose, who's in 2nd in no man's land himself. And then we've got Matt versus BD as we head down to the end of the Kemmel Straight. The inside line for Matt should do it, and will do it by a country mile out of that. He got that chicane Out of the camel straight, perfect. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. He gets himself up into 4th as well. Matt is having a pretty good run at this one. We've got here's BD trying to hold himself here as well, as trying to give himself a top 5 finish in the sprint. We've got Jin in 6th, who realistically, for the sake of everyone's predictions, of those that are still going, needs to get his finger out of his ass. The guys in front of him are strolling off in front of him right now. We've still got a three-way battle here for 3rd. 1st and 2nd all but effectively done. It doesn't look like Moose has got too much of a problem there in 2nd, as Monty is slipping away. Yep, and we'll see Moose there in the background, and we also see BD versus Matt. That could be a very interesting battle as we go again. These two going for round 2. Who's going to win this one? Matt won round 1. Let's see if the outcome's going to change here through Blanchimont. It is not really. BD's on the outside here, and Matt got every right to shut the door, and he will do very precisely. You give someone the chance to close the door, they have to take it, and that will keep Matt in 4th. BD's got a nicer run on the exit, but he's not going to get a nice exit in terms of getting on that curb. That curb is probably still very wet. And if it's still very wet, then those soft tyres are going to have a nightmare on it, and you're not going to enjoy it at all if you do in fact get on those curbs. So you got Jin in 6th, who is starting to catch himself up, but not very far. Camera angle needs to change. Stuart's got a penalty. We've got Zelda and Esty here as well. D-Dub's looking to the inside to try and make something happen against Esty. They're 12th and 13th right now. It looks like D-Dubs have the inside line. We're going to go too wide here into Rouge or not. D-Dubs is going to back off probably a little bit wisely, but it will compromise his line up through Radion, and it certainly means there's no move going to be happening down the Camel Straight here. Slipstream is just not that powerful. Even worse off now that the update has come, but it's definitely not that powerful going into the end of the Camel Straight here. We're going to go further up. Aurak's in 9th. He's worked his way back up. Fracas is trying to catch up to his teammate, but Bont seems to have the control of that for now. Jin in 6th. BD is still on the back of Matt. Not really going to be able to make an awful lot happen at the moment, though. We're just over 11 minutes into this race. It will be probably 6 laps, maybe 7 for the guys at the front, as we continue to go through. And the chicane, for some reason, Matt has got, even though BD's got the turning car, or the handling car on Matt, Matt seems to have a bit more prowess through these corners. BD just losing the car every opportunity he can get. The slide is not going to help his tyres either, albeit the tyres are not much of a problem at Spa. Yeah, the BD is just I'm not going to get Matt on the straights because of the speed difference between the two cars. So that means he's got to do these handling sections of Spa a lot better than what he has been doing. Look, you get down to a straight area here, and Matt's just going to hold the line because he's got it's just easy for him. And BD too narrow of a line out of that final corner really to make a move out of the bus stop chicane. So we are as we were. Font versus Fracas might be a interesting teammate battle throughout the season, but also an interesting battle coming into the probably the final lap of the race as a whole. Maybe they might get onto the 7th lap here actually. We'll wait and see. Fracas at this point in time is closing in. Aurak is in a little bit of no man's land behind him. And we're driving in 2s behind Aurak apparently. Fracas, oh that's deep, that's deep. You want to avoid the AstroTurf at all costs. Font actually went a bit deep, sorry. Font with the leading car there, which means Fracas is closing the door here on his teammate. Well, he's closing the gap, sorry, and not enough by the time. Oh, Font's got off, never mind. Font has gone off, he has missed the corner entirely. Yeah, you just missed the braking point. He's just completely missed the braking point. His teammate's going to go on through. And Fracas is up to 7th. Font, awful error. Awful error. You don't want to be making too many of those. with Zelda and Stewart. Let's have a look further up the grid again, because it's still BD versus Matt. It's still quite the battle. They go through Peon here, and the Super still has a very slight edge. It looks like they might be about to bring Jin into this if there is a 7th lap. If there is a 7th lap, Jin will get on the back of these two. Also, Monty is closing in on Moose. I don't think Monty has enough in the tank though to get past Moose though, even in that Super. It does have a better straight line speed than the BMW, but again, it's all about the cornering. When you can get on tracks like these, if you can get the cornering right, it will set you up so that the straights you can't get overtaken up. Let's see if BD can actually make something happen against Matt here. The AstroTurf is just playing a little bit of a factor after here, taking off a little bit of the speed. BD taps the back of Matt, but somehow still no one affected whatsoever there. And Matt is going to hold on to 4th for now. They're going to go into one final lap. We are going to hit lap 7 for effectively most of the grid. There's someone in the back there that's just having an absolute awful time as BD goes down the inside, and so will Jin. And Jin's going to follow through the hole that BD makes, and Matt loses multiple positions in turn 1. LaSource has not treated him well there. BD on the inside, maybe a little bit of a contact on the way through, but it opens a hole for Jin. And Jin will say thank you very much as he goes up into 5th. Matt's got the speed though. Matt will probably try and make a move straight back, and will make a move straight back and avoids being boxed in as well. Can he get them both back at the end of the Kemmel Straight? Oh, that did not look good. That did not look good. BD's off the track. BD is off the track. Matt's got by, but I can't tell whether that was contact in the way to make that happen. And here comes Jin, who goes around the outside here and hits BD. The BMW versus the Merc, it's a little bit wide there, and a little bit of a shove off the track there from BD on Jin. And BD will hold the position as a result of that, which is a rather interesting scenario to have been in 3.5 seconds for Monty. How the hell did that happen? Now the battle in for 3rd place, well, the battle for 4th place, sorry, is relatively over. Now Matt's got through. I'm not entirely sure if there was contact or if there was any sort of just a missed braking point that played a part, but either way, it was not good news. Well, it was great news if you're Matt, not good news if you're Jin, who lost the position. So did BD, as now Monty is going to serve a 3.5 second penalty. Is Matt going to get by? Here we go. Monty's back up to racing speed. Here comes Matt on the outside, gets by. Who's else is going to get by? It's BD also gets by. Jin, as Kimi wins the race. Kimi wins the sprint very comfortably, as we're going to continue watching this group down to the line. Here comes Jin on the inside of Monty. Monty, however, had the inside of the final corner of the lap, and Jin, with the exit, will get Monty in the end. That was a drag race to the line, a drag race I did not expect the BMW to win, but they have won nonetheless. So, Kimi, from Moose, from Matt, from BD, from Jin, from Monty, from Font. Fracas must have made a mistake. Let's see if we can actually go and see what happened to him. Oh, yeah, that's a mistake. That's a bad mistake. That is a very bad mistake for Fracas to AstroTurf on the outside at the beginning of the 3rd sector, as Font and Font and Zelda at the very least went on through on Fracas here as he got up to racing speed again. So, yeah, so we know Jin comes 6th, Jin comes 5th, Monty comes 6th, Font should come 7th from here. It should be Font from Zelda. Oh, someone's gone very deep there. Stewart at the end, gone very deep into the bus stop chicane. Fracas will get 9th. Aurak's going to get 10th, Stewart 11th. D-Dubs has decided he doesn't want to drive on the track anymore, as D-Dubs comes 12th, Berserk 13th, Reaper 14th, Festi 15th, and Animal somewhere. Not entirely sure where, but he is somewhere. Oh, he's there. a lap down. Everyone's already finished the race, and it was not good for Animal whatsoever here. And that, well, I say that will be the end of the sprint, but we've got a long way to go here before Animal finishes his lap. But yeah, so at the end, Jin got a really nice run there on Monty. Monty got relatively, well, he got punished with that 3.5 seconds for sure. Went from 3rd to 6th. Yeah, so first two untroubled whatsoever there. They started 1-2, they finished 1-2. And then you had Matt, who was the main beneficiary of everything that happened there. BD went off the track, Matt got the position, then Monty got a penalty, and Matt got the position. BD in 4th, Jin 5th, Monty 6th, Font 7th, Fracas losing 7th in the end of that sprint race as a result of one too many trips into the AstroTurf. Zelda 8th, Fracas 9th, Orak in 10th rounds out the points here for the sprint race. As we are going to go to collection, because I saved Fracas as POV of this one. As we can watch it download now, I'm going to take a very quick drink and load up the YouTube as well, see what is and isn't happening in chat and also in tier 4. So yeah, still loading up. Just put in another ping. Just gonna at tier 4 chat very quickly to see if anyone wants this full-time sheet again. Alright, so that's tier 4 added. I'm just going to load up my YouTube stream very quickly here to see. Just I'm turning off my audio from it. But YouTube chat in particular. But yeah, as we go through, I'm not taking a look at the side of my screen because it shows everything in here. We're going to very quickly, before this race gets going, we're going to run through the grid. Everyone knows how we do this by now. So, if you haven't watched a stream before, or didn't drive in the race yourself, either or, because I know there's been a few people who weren't in the Discord that have been watching recently. We do 15 minutes for a sprint, which is what we just went through. We do 40 minutes for a feature. And for this season, it will be reversed grid. It has been reversed grid, the entire grid up until this point. But it looks as if the reversed grid rule will be changing at the end of the season as a result of a tier 4 incident that would let's, how we say it, interesting at best, I think is the best way of putting it. A couple of guys stopped on the track and have been punished quite severely for it. But yeah, right. Back to tier 5 anyway, the grid for the feature race. So we do 40 minutes of a feature race here. It's on Aero 3, the weather. So I guess it can rain, but yeah, and it's probably not going to rain enough for intermediate tyres for a substantial period of time, but it is what it is. So, Animal will start. Oh my God, that voice break. Animal will start on reverse grid pole. You know, SD in second in his Wario car. That's still probably livery of the season for me, honestly. Wario and with the Wario and Waluigi pair is just absolutely great. I cannot get over that without the pair of liveries that were made. Reaper will start in third. Berserk in his F-Type, which will probably be more fitting for this week, given the fact that after it's buff in midweek. Anyway, he starts in fourth. D-Dubs will start in fifth in his... I want to say that's a Supra, but I'm not entirely sure if that's a Supra. Believe so. It is a Supra. I am going blind. And then you've got a... No, I don't think it was Selfish. Actually, no, yeah, it was Selfish. No, you're right. It was definitely Selfish. Stuart in sixth in his Supra, 97. Aurak will start seventh. Fracas 8th after his mistake in the sprint. You got Zelda Knight Font 10th, who inherited Fracas's position after Fracas made the mistake. Monty in 11th after his 3.5 seconds. Jin in 12th. BD in 13th. Matt in 14th. Moose in 15th. And Kimmy in 16th. So everything is set to go here. We're going to start as a reverse, it's obviously reverse grid from the last race and a rolling start. So here we go. We'll focus our attention to Animal here. This Spa starting is ridiculous. That is one hell of a gap, isn't it? What? As Animal is going down into turn one, we're going to just go toward the back actually here. What the hell is going on? Everyone going through the actual chicane. Now here comes Fracas on Stuart. Fracas off to a good start. Up into, well, protected from Stuart and getting by, and Zelda trying to the inside here against Stuart. Doesn't get that one to work. But Font is also trying against him here, and the Font's going to follow through the gap that Zelda's going to create here. Yeah, Zelda's gone through, so has Font. Stuart loses an extra 2 positions straight away. I'm pretty sure he started 6th. So he's lost quite a substantial amount of positions off the start. Font, you got Stuart and Monty. And then BD, also Jin, all going against each other here. Oh, that looked a little bit uncomfortable there for Stuart. And there goes Jin and Monty. Monty already has a second penalty, which is impressive. We've got quite a battle going on here. As we're going to see down the inside here, BD versus Stuart is still going on. It also looks like Matt versus, I think that might have been Moose. It is Moose. Here comes Kimmy on the inside of Stuart as well. Stuart has just dropped all the way down, which is not good news whatsoever for him. Here comes BD on the inside of Monty, though. And the BD just using the grass to try and turn the car more than anything else there. Gets it done. That's a nice little move there for BD. Kimmy's gone wide. Monty's off the track. Monty has somehow saved his car as Kimmy drops back to the back of the grid. Wow, that's a very good car control there for Monty to hold his car in what looked like a perilous situation there. Here comes Jin, and it looks like Font also losing out that position there, as we got Jin versus Zelda, as I'm looking for a good camera angle here, and Fracas in front of Zelda doing enough to hold on as well. We've got an intermediate tyres weather, but I don't think it will be too much of anything here whatsoever. And Zelda trying to work his way through Fracas, but not really doing much as of... Oh, that does not look good back there. Oh, Monty saved it. Monty has saved another trip into the AstroTurf, and the penalty will allow for Matt and probably for Kimmy to go on through. Font gets overtaken by Moose King now as well. Also got overtaken by BD. That is Stuart, who has decided he does not like the track. And that looked like a lot of screeching tyres in front there. We're actually going to go back here a little bit, I think. Let's get a proper look at what happens here. We got Fracas, Aurak, Zelda. Fracas is going to go to the inside of Aurak here. Oh, that looked like a little bit of contact. That's the screeching. Reaper's got a penalty. Reaper's stopped on track. What the hell has happened there? That looks like Jin's gone off the track as well. That was absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. Aurak's up into 5th. Fracas is going to go to the inside of Aurak here. And we're going to get a bit of a move here. And BD's off the track, being squeezed a little bit here by Aurak. It's just absolute chaos. What the hell is going on? There's about 5 or 6 cars occupying the same space. Obviously, you can't do that. Aurak has dropped from 5th to 11th in one corner. Lasource did not treat him nicely at all. Here comes Font. He might be maybe looking to make this misery a lot worse. As we're going to look toward the front of this absolute chaos of a pack. Reaper's still here, so is Moose, so is Jin. Jin might be about to get boxed in by his own teammate. No, they're going to go 3 wide instead, and that's never a good sign. Jin gets bounced by a bollard as he goes by, and then Moose is also going to get by on Reaper. Oh, that did not look good behind. Aurak, I think BD got a little bit of a snipe there in the side by Aurak, but it worked nonetheless. Kimmy's going to get a little bit of movement, a wheel to try and get past Font, and does that relatively well. Matt's got a penalty, Stewart's behind him. Monty is currently in last position. We've got both the McLarens going against each other right now. I would assume team orders would just allow... Never mind, no it won't. As Font goes deep again in Puyon. He somehow held the car, which is pretty good work. I hate that. The AstroTurf being there is an absolute nightmare, but it's great for comms. Aurak is still ahead of Kimmy for now. BD in front of that. Reaper's got a half second, then it's Moose. And Jin, then Zelda's on his own. Fracas is a little bit further in front. Now we've got Animal and Berserk. Berserk's in the AstroTurf. Berserk is in the AstroTurf. You don't want to do that. Animal will go on by. Fracas probably will as well. Here comes Fracas on the outside, and Fracas does get that very easily. And yeah, that was done without much of a problem there at all. So we've got D-Dubs, who's apparently going through the final corner without much of a camera angle following him. Then we've got a freeway here, Zelda, Fracas and Berserk. It looks like, yeah, no one really pulled away just as of yet, apart from the front two. Here comes Zelda to the inside of Berserk, who then, well, Zelda backs out before he even goes to the move. He half-assed that move very, very obviously. In the background here we've got, I think that's Reaper and Pagal, yeah it is, Reaper and Kimmy looking at each other. And Reaper holding on for the point, for the time being. That McLaren, though, should be able to just breeze on by. And it will. It definitely will. There's no way this McLaren doesn't get by the time we hit this Kimmel straight. Down the straight we go. Will Kimmy get in front? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Finally. It took a lot longer than it should have, but he definitely will get in front nonetheless. As we look like we've got Jin here, who tried to go against Zelda but failed in the downhill right-hander there in the middle of the second sector. And we've still got a decent race going on here, as we're currently rolling on through the first about 6 or 7 minutes. We're now into slick weather in terms of tyre conditions, so the tyres everyone on should be representative of that now. No one, I believe, started on the intermediate tyres. It looked like Berserk's having a bit of trouble holding off Zelda and the two BMWs by consequence. Oh, that looked like a little bit of a contact there from Jin. If anything, it's helped Zelda rather than hindered Zelda. So it's Jin getting away with contact on Zelda there, as Zelda is now going to have the push he needed to try and go past Berserk. Berserk here on the inside, Zelda on the outside. We've seen this happen plenty of time. The turns off the stewards, and that's exactly how too wide that corner goes 90% of the time. Berserk's going to get overtaken because Zelda had the wide line. I don't know if Zelda's going to get a penalty. I don't think Zelda will get a penalty as a result. Jin gets by. HBD had one hell of a move there. We're going to go back 10 seconds. BD's a knife coming into this corner, so all 4 cars in front of him trying to sort something out. We've got Kimmy on the inside here as well. BD, look at that switch back there. Berserk and Moose suffering the consequences. Kimmy also gets by, but that's a nice little pick your spot and make your move there from BD to move up into 7th. And Jin versus Zelda, switchback attempt here from for Jin, and it works. It works. He sticks it. That's multiple good moves in the space of a couple of corners by a couple of drivers in Tier 5. BD had the first one. which Kimi followed through the hole, and Jin on the switchback of Zelda and LaSauce, also putting his name on there for overtake of the week if we were doing that. Here comes Zelda, who's going to fire it straight back. Fracas is currently in third. Let's see how long it takes for him to screw that up. Animal is directly in front of us. It looks like Jin on the inside of Zelda. Will Zelda get him? Zelda's got a nicer run, far nicer run on the outside there, and made that look very easy. And here comes Kimi on the inside of Jin. Kimi looking to make it work. Heading down into the right-hander. Doesn't make it work. A little bit of contact. Now pulls alongside. And does eventually get by. It's BD trying to work through the hole that was created. Doesn't get to work through the hole that was created though, but will get by after a little bit of a push to pass, I think, there in the downhill left as we're going to put on now. It looked like, yeah, so the front two off in the distance a little bit here. Then you got Fracas in third. Animal is now under heavy fire from both Zelda and Kimi. Kimi making his way through the pack far more efficiently than he did at Deep Forest. Let's see if anything is able, if anything's going to happen here. Here comes Animal against Zelda. Zelda should have the speed. That Ferrari is not that good of a car. Here comes Zelda on the outside of LeBlanchemont now. Is he going to be able to stick this around the outside? We're going to go too wide into this corner again. We know how this one ends. And it ends with a Zelda overtake. This time a clean Zelda overtake. And now he's going to go side by side here with Kimi, who doesn't get the move. Here comes Animal on the outside of Kimi now as well. Oh, that's a fight back. That's a push from Jin. That is just straight up, bullied straight into the side up by Jin. Let's have a second look at this. This did not look clean whatsoever. You've got Kimi and Nesty in front. Also Animal. Yeah, look, contact. There you go. Yeah, no, Jin, that is not acceptable. That is not, that's a push to pass if I've ever seen one. That is not how you do that corner remotely. It looked like here goes BD to the inside, and anyway, BD, I think BD's just managed, oh, a little bit of squeeze at the end there. We're going to take I'm hoping for a good camera angle, but I didn't get it. I think BD pushes a little bit more there on Animal, and then Esty on the, Zelda on the outside has been royally screwed as a result. Yeah, he got squeezed out, went on the AstroTurf and lost 4 positions as a result of that. Animals picked up 2 seconds for track limits. Not entirely sure where. Can only assume it's the end of on the inside of Radion. Here comes Jin. Oh, an Animal just dies there against his BD and just comes careering into the back of that Merc. The driver standards dipping a little bit here in the midst of Tier 5. And Jin's up into 6th nonetheless. As a result of Animal trying to push his way through, doesn't get it. And there goes, I think that's, yeah, Jin having a bit of a deep corner there. Animal, however, off the track entirely. And somehow managed to keep that car in check. He's done very well to not spin the car there. Here comes Moose on the inside. Moose on the inside will get that move on Animal, and that's a pretty decent move. And then here comes Orak with a little bit of contact, but the overspeed makes him move as well. Here comes Zelda. It's a little bit of a thank you, a move through the hole. Here comes Matt as well, as Animal is just falling through the pack. Animal is now falling through the pack. Matt's been squeezed a little bit onto the AstroTurf there, as Font is going to now just charge on through himself. Animal's going to take his 2-second time penalty and give both of those a position back, as we're going to go a little bit further forward again. And this group seems to have a little bit of a fight coming through LeBlanchemont every single lap. And this time it's going to be Zelda versus Orak. Orak on the inside loses out to Zelda this time. Zelda trying to make his way back through. Orak on the inside still manages to hang himself in there, but squeezed a little bit wide by Zelda, who manages to make that move stick. You know, Moose King and Jin, and a lot of contact has happened in this midfield battle. But it looked like we're past most of it now. BD, Jin being at the heart of it. And Yeah, it's a little all over the place there in lap 4 and 5, but I think people will be able to move past that. Zelda got past Dorak in the end, but is losing time to both BD and Jin as we go through now into the end of the Camel Straight. BD is going to go to the inside here. Is he going to get this on the inside? That would be a good move. Contact between the two of them again. Jin on the outside, BD on the inside, and Jin's going to hold it. That is very, very well done there by Jin to hold 6th position. And it's allowed Zelda and Orak back into this, but it's very well driven there between the two of them. Here comes the inside again. BD, oh, and contact here between BD and Jin again. These two all over each other at this point, and not in a good way. As Zelda goes wide, oh, he just about saved that car. That was one hell of a save there by Zelda. It's not going to be the case for the car in the back there. It's gone very deep. We saw that in the background. I'm not entirely sure it was. It looked like a gold car, which would probably say Monty to me. As Orak also gets past Zelda as Zelda saved the car. And we are in another lap where we're going through to the middle of Sector 3, and we're in another battle in Sector 3 in the mid-pack. And Jin versus Orak this time. Jin not able to catch up to BD as those two are against each other the entire way. Moose is off in the distance. The top 5 look to be relatively set at this point in time. Here comes Zelda on the inside. Zelda on the inside, Jin. I need a drink very quickly. My throat is not my friend. Got that very quickly. We'll also go back 10 seconds to figure out what the hell happens here. Because Zelda is the next one. Zelda, I think it's, is it Orak and Jin as well? I think BD is in the distance here. So here comes Zelda on the inside. What has happened here? Zelda versus the inside of Jin. Jin just goes deep. Jin just goes deep and then comes back, and him and Orak make contact. But nothing really happens there. All 3 of those hold that position. Got Font trying to push his way through here as well, trying to give himself an opportunity on the outside here of Lasor. Sorak should hold this position realistically, but actually breaks way too much into turn 1, I guess to avoid Jin, who came very much across the braking point there to hit the apex of the corner. Sorak trying to get out of the way, loses himself multiple positions at the same time. He's lost out to Challoner and to Font. And those two will go side by side. We're going to look at this one. Matt's got a penalty up at Radion. As we're going to watch these two down the straight. Font's not got the straight light speed of that Nissan, not that Nissan, that Super 97, sorry, Toyota. It's currently now in 9th. We're going to look a little bit further forward. Zelda's in front of Jin. Zelda's also going after it. BD a little bit here. The front of the pack is very spread out. The first 5 not really threatening any of each other. So we're going to continue to watch the mid-pack here. 6th and 7th right on each other. 8th just ahead of 9th. 9th has got a penalty. 10th and 11th right now on each other as well. As we're actually going to take a look and see if there's any moves going to happen here. It's not going to be the case. Maybe Font is going to go deep again, and Font's going to spin it this time. Font is going to save the car from the wall. But he has span it, and there is smoke galore coming out the back of that Mazda. Font has spun the car, somehow drifted it. Oh, there goes Stewart! And there goes Stewart into the gravel. That is not good news for Stewart. He's going to drop to the back. He ain't getting out of that gravel anytime soon. Yep, Stewart drops to the back. There's a yellow flag here as well. Something's happened. Oh, what has happened to Zelda? What has happened to Zelda? Oh, it's AstroTurf, him and Jin, but he's just got unlucky, and yeah, the continuation on the AstroTurf is going to stop the 360 as well. And that is a complete unfortunate set of events for Zelda. Jin got away with one though in the back one there with the AstroTurf. The AstroTurf is absolutely deadly. You do not want to touch it. And Jin is still in 7th against Dorak. And BD has now got a lot of room to himself to play with. So has Moose King and Kimmy, who's in the middle of nowhere right now, who's actually trying to charge down Fracas, but not doing too good of a job of it. D-Dubs and SD also way in the distance. It looks like we still got a couple of people battling here in the midfield. Knife is also trying to make his presence known to Jin and to Orakia. Then going up a Rouge. Behind that, Font and Reaper going at each other, but Font is going to hold on for now. Reaper not that close, not as close as the minimap suggested anyway. So, we're now on lap 8. We're almost at the point where people should be realistically looking to pit. The best strategy probably would have been medium soft. We are in a little bit of rain. I don't know if this rain is going to last long enough for it to turn into intermediate conditions. It's very unlikely, given our 03. But, yeah, as it stands, there's not a lot of battles going on right now. Berserk and last. Animal has already quit out by this point. Reaper, Font. This is probably the closest battle, so we'll continue to look at this midfield. Actually, is that the case? What's happening up here? It looks like Kimmy is starting to close in on Fracas a little bit. We'll actually give these two a little bit of screen time until those 4 in the midfield start pulling into the Blanchimon, and maybe something happens between them again as we head down towards the bust up chicane. Kimmy is getting closer to Fracas. Isn't really doing an awful lot in terms of trying to make a move right now. He's still got a lot of time to make up, and the 2 guys in front are also in the picture now. And yeah, so yeah, they got Kimmy is trying to close in on Fracas. There's the back here, Orak, Challoner, Jin, BD, nothing really happened there between the 4 of these guys, as I am having voice breaks for days. Yeah, the 4 of these guys are doing well right now. We've got guys also trying to go through each other in turn 1. Lasource is not kind of fun, as he's now got Reaper right on the back of him. Let's see if there's anything in store here as we go down into the Camel Straight. As Reaper, yeah, it's just not enough. There's not enough being in that Merc 20 to get alongside Font here, and yeah, it's not good news for Reaper there. He's just going to hold on to the back of Font for a little while longer. We should start seeing pits sooner rather than later. We've got a 3-way battle going on here between BD, Jin and Orak. And it just seems like 90% of the screen time has been these guys, as we actually see Fracas and Pagal go by each other. Let's see what happened here. It looked like a little bit of a movement there, possibly coming out of that downhill right-hander. As those two, well, Kimmy is now by, and let's see how long it takes him to get towards D-Dubs and then SD, as we still have pit stops to go as well. Everyone who's on the softs towards the front here should be pitting the next lap or 2. So who's next? Who's the first one on the medium tyres here, actually, out of curiosity? There's none of the top 7. So here comes Challoner as well, who looks to put himself in the battle here, as he is now side by side with Orak. And on the outside of Orak even, Orak with a little bit of a nudge, keeps the position. And Challoner will have to try and pick a different spot. As we continue to... yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Let him pass and see what goes on there. See if you can try and take advantage of a mistake or two, if there is a mistake or two later on. They continue to look toward the mid-pack. The front five are very much off in the distance, and Moose is trying to keep himself, trying to add himself into the mix, rather, of that top five conversation. Here comes BD, followed by Jin. Orak on the inside here against Jin, and it's a little bit of contact all the way through. Here comes BD. In comes Moose as well. The top four has now stayed out. Fifth has come in. I think that was also six that came in as well. Yep, BD was six. So six came in as well. Orak trying to hold himself in on the inside and gets it done. Nice little move of the source on Jin. And Orak against Jin there. Probably will return back in Jin's favour after they go up Eau Rouge and then through Radion as they're about to do as well. Or would be the case if Jin could get Radion right, which he didn't. He looked like he just couldn't get the turn in. And that will allow Orak to stay in front down the end of the Camel Straight here. He's going to get not really questioned either. You've got Chalanos in 7th right now, Font behind them. Jin on the AstroTurf. You don't want to be doing that too often. I say that repeatedly in this one. Here comes Matt on the inside. Matt on the inside of Jin now as well. And Matt is going to get by up into 6th place. That's an interesting choice to make a move. Interesting place to make a move, but it's a choice. If you're going to pick the spot, you might as well. If you can get that to stick, it always looks really nice, no matter who it's on. Got Font, Zelda, who's trying to make his way back up the grid after his mistake earlier on in the race on the AstroTurf at the beginning of Sector 3. Reaper also just not really doing anything right now either. Yeah, Moose King currently in 12th. So we're going to try and find a quick little battle here. We've got D-Dubs and Kimmy, who D-Dubs has also been overtaken by Kimmy here. Kimmy is starting to make his way through. Esty is being propelled by the power of Wario right now. To get himself a decent chunk of time in the lead. The Supra currently in 3rd. Kimmy is currently staying in 2nd. They're on to they're through 10 laps. I can't imagine much longer in terms of the time before a pit stop here. Fracas now into the pits, that makes sense. But then again, the less laps you can do on mediums, the better. You got Kimmy, who's ahead of D-Dubs. I don't think D-Dubs is going to put up an awful lot more of a fight. And you got Orak, who stays out. Jin and Matt goes in. Zelda stays out. Font goes in. Font was on the medium tyres. Reaper has decided he wants himself a 3-second time penalty. Monty is also going to go in rather clean. Moves Berserk, the only one left here. I think that hasn't pitted. Down the end of the Camel Straight here for Kimmy, and for D-Dubs. And no real fight back here for D-Dubs against Kimmy whatsoever. And Moose is also about to head out of the pits. Let's see where Moose is going to come out ahead against Fracas. That's actually what we're going to look at right now. Oh, there he is in the background. Fracas is out in front of Moose. So Fracas is still in net P3 as it stands in this race. He's still got Pagal, D-Dubs, actually net P4. Sorry. D-Dubs, Kimmy and Esty still the pit in front of him. He's with Zaldo and Orak, but as in like actual cars that were in front of him before that still have to pit now. There you go. Yeah, Fracas has cleared Moose King a little bit here, but we'll see what times Moose King can put up on those medium tyres. Matt also looking to do stuff here. He's cleared Jin, that's for sure. It's again the tyre saving and everything and the fuel that comes with that Super. It's absolutely incredible. But yeah, for now, Jin ahead of its BD as well. Interested to see how I assume it's the fuel. Yeah, it's the fuel on each of the cars. The fuel has managed to make those three split. Someone's messed up. Oh, it's Fracas! It's Fracas! What has he done? No, he's got on the AstroTurf, and unlike Font earlier, he's not That's a real nice time for my remote to die, isn't it? That is a real nice time for my remote to die. Wow, Fracas gets his glory on screen for a little while longer. Yeah, he's on right front earlier. Fracas could not manage to get himself on a little bit of a turn off, a little bit of a drift. He's going to be punished as a result. He drops down to 8th in behind. That was completely unintentional. I did not mean for my remote to disconnect in the middle of the actual, in the middle of the corner you spun. That was just incredibly well timed. Even my remotes hate you, Fracas. Alright, so Orac stayed out again. D-Dubs, SD, Pagel all into the pit. Zelda stayed out again. You're going to go one more. Orac, yeah, that looks pretty good on the McLaren. Honestly, if you could stay out the entire tank, I don't see why you wouldn't. So, Moose King, let's see where he's going to come out against D-Dubs and against Kimmy. They're both coming out of their pits now, and he is not close. It died of laughter. My remote's playing games of Fracas, that's what it is. We got a little bit of battle here, I think, coming from Jin and Challoner. Also, with Fracas. Fracas on the inside here. Can he do it against Jin? Fracas on the inside. Is it going to happen? No, it's not. No, it is not. Jin's going to get a hold of Fracas there. And Jin's going to get himself into 8th place. Regardless, let's see if the slipstream down the Camel Straight is enough for Fracas to make something happen here against Jin. The BMW versus the Mazda. Here comes the outside line here for Fracas. Will he get it done? He's gone late. He's definitely gone late, but with the new tyres, it's probably doable, and it is doable. And that's a nice little move here, but Jin's going to fight this straight back. Oh, and just about gets away with minimal contact. That looked like that was going to be a lot more serious than that was. So that looked like a lot more overspeed there for Jin than it was Fracas. That was terrifying for a minute. We continue to look toward the front, and it's Wario versus Waluigi. Waluigi will have to pit at the end of this lap. Honestly, I think I'm going to turn it into Waluigi. Instead of calling them Zelda and SD, they're going to be called Waluigi and Wario for the rest of the season. But their livery's absolutely great. Here comes Zelda into the pits. We'll see if we can find any more battles in the grid after that. Orac in zero fuel entirely. He's timed that to perfection pretty much. SD's got 1% left. Zelda's got 1% left anyway. I shall say Waluigi's got 1% left as Wario goes off into the lead. We got Kimmy well ahead of D-Dubs, who is in 3rd. See where Wario and you'll refuel 1 lap. How? There's 4 laps max left. How did you how did you fuel 1 lap short? That's an interesting strategy call, Orac. That's for sure. You see Moose King go by. Orac has got himself in front of Matt, but let's see how... Well, I've been informed that won't last too long. We're now 3/4 of the way through the race, and that looks like it's BD in the background having an absolute nightmare on the AstroTurf. And it is. As Monty's probably going to get brought back into that, but we're going to continue to look at Jin versus Fracas. Jin holding on against Fracas for now. Let's see if Fracas is going to be able to make some sort of move as we go towards the end of this race. Everyone's starting to be a little bit more spread out. Fracas looked to the inside there, decides not to go for it. Well, what's happening further back? Here comes it, BD versus Monty. These two are going to battle into the end of the Camel Straight. A little bit of contact there from BD. Both make the corner still. And yeah, I don't think Monty's going to be the happiest person in the world with that little bit of shove on the inside. At this point in time, it's you get a contact, and you get a contact, and you get a contact. But it's still nowhere near as bad as the Tier 4 sprint race. The Tier 4 sprint race was an absolute embarrassment. you haven't already watched that, I would suggest giving the Tier 4 comms a watch, because it was certainly something. As we see, Fracas is still behind Jin. We have rain. Oh, we certainly had rain from that point of view, but that seems to have disappeared very quickly. GT rain is a very confusing thing that exists. Also, Matt versus Jin here. See what happens between these two, as Jin has got away from Fracas and now looking forward rather than backwards. As we go at the front, SD is very much clear of Kimi right now. Kimi's going to have to go quite a distance now with about 3 or 4 to go, realistically, to make this work. And D-Dub's further back, moves in 4th, but quite frankly, not really involved with the front. Here comes, and then we've got Orak, who's refueled a lap short as per the YouTube comments in the middle of the chat. And then we've got Matt versus Jin here, 6th versus 7th, what will be 5th versus 6th very shortly. And Matt did not look very comfortable there through Oruj and Radion. Oh, that's Fracas in the background! What has happened to Fracas? What is going on here? What has he done? What has he done? Oh, AstroTurf, yep. No, you don't, yeah, that's always going to do it. Oh, and he can't even get the car back up. That looks like a mistake I would do. Ouch. Ouch indeed. And then you've got Jin, who's got past Matt. Matt must have made a mistake there. Matt's got a mistake there, and Jin's gone by. So Jin is up into 6th. It's a pretty good time for Jin at this point in time. He's going through one by one. Oh god, I am not. That's why I call you Auto. Like, can't be confusing you with the corner name apparently. Yeah, we've got a few battles coming through the midfield. That's basically where most of our battles are coming now. Zelda's got past Monty as well. BT's on his line of his own. Stewart as well. Fracas is in 12th. Font, his teammate, in 13th. Reaper again on the back of Font. What field? Oh, Font's got into the AstroTurf now as well. And the Masters cannot avoid that AstroTurf for the life of them. And Reaper's gone on by. That AstroTurf is a Mazda killer apparently. As yeah, Reaper has gone on past Font, and Berserk is, well, stone cold last. As we're currently on lap 14, trying to find a battle going through here. I guess we'll look at this 4, because these are the 4 that are closest to each other. Jin versus Matt might be going for round number 2, but Zelda's also trying to get himself involved in this one. And Master, wow, okay, that's a good one. That's fair play. It looks like Jin managed to hold on. No real moves been made there through the source from these 4. As Jin will definitely hold on and see if he'll hold on through the Camel Straight. I don't see him getting too challenged. It's going to be more Waluigi on Matt rather than anything else. Or maybe even Monty on Waluigi. You'll wait and see. Here comes Jin, who blocks off Matt. And that's a little bit of a shove. That's an interesting way of going about things. That's a shove. I'm surprised that one did. That's just an absolute mess. That is just an absolute mess. What has happened? Let's rewind that. Let's get a proper look here. So Jin versus Matt. Those two come together, and then, oh, Jin comes back. There's a little bit of contact here with Zelda. Matt comes back on. Unsafe rejoin there against Jin, and they tap Zelda. Zelda has gone through. Monty gets the worst of all this, and Matt's in the wall. And Matt's in the wall to add it on. Wow, that was a mess. That was a complete mess. And now I understand why Tier 5 had about 55 different stewards reports. What the hell? I want Mario and Waluigi to battle Peaky 13 with his Mario helmet. Maybe at some point. Yeah, Jin got, well, Zelda's the big winner out of all that at the end of the day, isn't he? He managed to get past and get clear. I wish I knew, Hassel, no, I wish I knew. It looks like Monty's gone deep. Monty's gone deep with that Supra. He's going to lose off the back of these guys now, I think. Yeah, he's going to drop a little bit off the back of these two. Aurak's in fifth, who hates this track, but somehow manages to get himself very much in the mix of things at this point in time. But YouTube comments spoiled the fact that he's under fuel. Jin here on the outside against Zelda. Against Waluigi even. We're going to call him Waluigi from now on, as Waluigi is now defending very heavily against Jin, and Waluigi had the inside line, and this should be relatively easy. As Waluigi hold on to 6th, then you got Jin in 7th, Monty in 8th, trying to make himself a presence in this little battle. It looks like the front two have actually caught up to each other. We're on lap 16 with what the hell has happened here? It doesn't look too great there. It looked very deep for both of them. And, well, they've managed to both make the corner. And that looked fairly interesting at the very least. We only caught a glimpse of it in the back of our camera shot there. We were watching Waluigi. Oh, it's BD's got a penalty in the background there. Alright, yeah, you can see the flashing red. Moose is in its own little world, same with D-Dubs and Kimmy, who's not really catching up to Wario right now. They are close, but I think Wario might have enough left in this tank to hold till the end. We'll wait and see. We'll see if anything's happening further back now. Oh, he's got Waluigi, Jin's not that far back, Monty's still there, BD's got a penalty. Matt's in 10th, but he's on his own. Fracas in 11th, not really fighting either. Stewart and Reaper not that far off the back of each other. Then Font and Berserker in their own little worlds. Let's see if what's the closest actual battle. I guess it's these three again. Until Kimmy can get on the back of Wario properly. We're on the minute 38 of 40 in this race. There will be one more lap. They will go to 17, and that's it. No one will reach the 18th lap, which was pretty fair in tier 5. Kimmy is going to try and get a real good go here at Wario. As we go into the source, Wario still has the lead. As we got Kimmy, oh, the AstroTurf, that's deep from Kimmy, and that might cost him a little bit of time. Will that time come into factor later on? Will that be just enough time that Kimmy will be one in back? We'll see whether or not that can be the case. Here comes down towards the end of the Camel Straight. Monty has underfueled himself, and he's gone into the pits now. Yeah, Monty is out of fuel, so he's going to lose a bunch of places. Oh, that's a costly mistake. Costly mistake there from Monty. And you got Kimmy, who's trying to go after Wario, but is still not getting close. Those two are still sticking with each other. The third and fourth are very much in their own little world. Those two will be set for third and fourth, unless there's a mistake coming anyway. Then we've got battles down the Camel Straight here. Here comes Aurak versus Jin. I think Aurak might be in a little bit of trouble. Here comes Jin on the inside. Zelda got by against Aurak as well not that long ago. Here comes Jin, who's taking a look to the inside, then look to the outside, still looking on the outside, trying to take Lacon's pretty interestingly there. Now to the inside, down the hill, and Jin makes a pretty good move there on Aurak. That is a pretty good move. Picked his spot, and you know what I'm like when it's moves that pick their spot. You make your move early, and they always look a ton better. We got BD, who's got a 2-second time penalty in front of us. Here comes a little bit more in Sector 3 here. It's Wario versus Kimmy. Can Kimmy get close enough? It's not looking like it. Down the final sector, they go for the Blanchman one more time, down toward the bus stop chicane. Is it going to happen? There's a yellow flag in front of us. Not entirely sure the yellow flag's for, but Wario through the final corner, no mistake there, and Wario is going to win the second feature race of the season. Kimmy gets second. We still have yellow flags in the final sector for some reason. D-Dubs a comfortable third in the end. Moose is going to come fourth. Yeah, rather comfortable drive for him, but he didn't really challenge anyone. Zelda in a land of his own right now as well. He's going to, well, I'd say Zelda. Sorry. Waluigi in a land of his own right now as he comes through the bus stop chicane. Waluigi now basically free on his own. He's going to go to the line. It's going to be fairly comfortable for Zelda, fifth. Jin in sixth. Orak in seventh after him running out of fuel effectively. Fracas is in eighth right now. Here comes the battle to the line. It's Fracas followed by Matt. Is he going to hold off Stewart? He is going to hold off Stewart, and then Reaper's going to come off 11th. It's BD with his penalty comes 12th. Font is going to come 13th after mistake after mistake after mistake this race. Monty's failure to get the fueling right cost him a top 15. It cost him a top 13, sorry. He comes 14th, and Berserk finishes a lap back, ending in 15th, and Animal DNF'd. Wow, that was a lot of run to the end. Wario wins the second one. It was a good day for the GTR, Wario and Waluigi for first and I think that was fifth or sixth there in the it was fifth in the end for Waluigi. Pretty good points there for the Nissans. Fourth and sixth for the M6 as well. It's pretty good days for three of these constructors, I think. But, yeah, that was a very exhilarating race. A lot of contact. It wasn't the cleanest race I've ever seen, I'll say that much. It definitely wasn't the cleanest race I've ever seen. But it's also not the worst race I've ever seen either. But, yeah. That was the first one of the comms I have to do today. We're going to go live shortly with Tier 2 comms. Stick around for that. It should be in the next maybe 10-ish minutes when I've given my voice a small amount of time in terms of calming down. But yeah, it was a pleasure to do the second week of Tier 5 comms. The third week is tonight. And the Sardinia B. I'll look forward to doing the comms of that over the next week. But for the next 15 or 20 minutes before I see you guys for Tier 2 in a bit.